Hello, everyone. Okay, so in this video, I will do an intro regarding a lingering issue with the critical 29th degree of when Pluto was in Capricorn that will play out in December as well, and how the Mars Pluto opposition from November is still in play and until spring 2025. I will also briefly discuss the four super full moons of this year that are related because of their vibrational effects. Then I will give you a quick rundown of December's three main themes. Then I will put up December's planetary alignment with the aspects and degrees for you to take a screenshot of. And then I will also give you some hints and tools to help you navigate a clearer picture for your signs. Thereafter, I will give you a personal scope for each sign for December, and it will have a snippet of your 2025 scope. So that'll be included. So a lot of information, and I will probably speed up the, not the volume, but the video to get more airtime in each video, as I will have several videos because I can't fit all signs on one. So if the video is too fast, just go to the the settings icon on the YouTube video and slow it down if you need to. Okay, and I'll mention the pinned comments in the intro. So, okay, so I want to start off this intro by saying you would be forgiven for not believing all this hullabaloo of astrologers and others celebrating the end of Pluto in Capricorn, yay, in November, and onwards to bigger and better things. Obviously, many of you are not feeling that way, or you may have a nagging feeling, maybe discontent, or some sort of like a thorn in your side. And you are right. This is another reason I have not put out a dedicated video for Pluto and Aquarius for all signs. But that will surely come in the future because we have plenty of time and it is a 20-year transit. But in the near future, I will put that video out um, because I want to first help you understand this lingering feeling and planets and the asteroids that are coming in for a cleanup in Isle Capricorn. um, Plus, I just don't want to leave anyone behind, and there's a lot of wrapping up behind that's left. I'm specifically referring to this wrap up or this cleanup in Isle Capricorn. I'm specifically referring to Ceres, the dwarf planet, and the very critical 29th degree of Capricorn. Um, that, Pluto has gone back and forth over the last few months. And Ceres is just as powerful as Pluto, but with a different strategy in mind. Mercury is retrograde and will be shadow retrograde through December until January 4th. I mean, it will go direct, I think, around December 15th, but it will still be in its shadow retrograde, and that doesn't clear until January 4th. Mars is about to retrograde in Leo, and it'll back up all the way into Cancer until it goes forward again in both signs, which ends in April of 2025, or maybe a little later. And the North and South nodes are in Aries and Libra, respectively, until the end of January. So with the nodes, it's 18 or 19-year karmic and repetitive story. And finally, as our transformation has been completed with Pluto in Capricorn, but from within, we are now transforming on the outside or trying to reconstruct those broken pieces that Pluto just trampled on. If you remember from the November scope, I said this will come in three stages in December. And the first stage is this first week of December. And then the second stage is the winter solstice, and then finally at the end of the month with the new moon on New Year's Day. And in three spaced apart stages from January, spring, and mid year 2025. Okay, but I will go in more detail with each scope, each individual scope for you guys on how that all plays out. But right here, I just wanted to give you, like a synopsis. Okay, so now the tools and hints that you can get. Um, First, you can get your natal chart by Googling free birth charts. So you can see where December's planetary degrees may match your natal planetary degrees, which will mean where, when, and how you will be affected. Also, to get a clearer picture, listen for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. And remember, your sun sign is where you shine. That's where your personality is, or where your strength is. It is your father, what your father imparted onto you. Your moon sign is your emotions. They are hidden. The moon is hidden. It is at night. It is what your mother imparted onto you. And then you can listen to your ascendant sign, which is the persona you display. It is the mask. It is how people see you. Uh, Now, just one note on this is some people and astrologers disagree with the ascendant um, being the persona and rather point to the I can't say it, mimium coli or the IC. It's in your chart. Um, they say that the IC is really your persona, and it is very much related to a family member that you may have been affected by, or family members or friends say you sound and look like that family member. I personally have tested this and it has proven to be correct. So it is up to you if you want to listen to that sign as well, your Mimium Coli. All right, another tool, and this is rather a hint, is planets show us what is happening, signs show us how it is happening, and houses show us where it is happening. Okay. Okay, also look for the pinned comments for related links I may mention and for links to other signs that will, again, not entirely fit in one video. So I want to spend a few minutes briefly reminding you regarding the super full moons we've had since September because they are related of how we got here. Again, only 1 or 2 points on each. So the first one was August 19th, super full moon in Aquarius, which was called the super blue moon. So the moon in Aquarius opposed the Leo sun, and both the sun and moon squared wild Uranus, which was in Taurus and still is, as well as Jupiter and Saturn squared off. So that was pretty powerful. And when I say, the super full moon in Aquarius, you would look to where Aquarius, which house Aquarius falls in your solar chart. In your natal chart, also, you would look to see if you have any Aquarius factors. And then you would look to the house in the Leo, where Leo dominates in your solar chart, and then you will understand where those oppositions were. Okay, and the second one was September's partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. It was called the super harvest moon. Um, this eclipse in Pisces did oppose the Virgo sun. So again, look to your Pisces. So, for example, if you're like a Sagittarius, you would count two Pisces. So it would be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So Sagittarius would be your first house, Capricorn your second, Aquarius your third house, and Pisces would be your fourth house. Okay, and then Virgo. So you would count all the way to Virgo, and then you'll know which houses oppose. Okay. And here there was some sort of ending in your Pisces dominated house, but there was some sort of a dual option and there was some kind of a reversal. Okay, the third super full moon was October's um, October 17th super full moon in Aries, which is called the super hunter's moon. And prior to that, the first week in October, we did have a Libra solar eclipse, which opposed the Aries sun. So and plus we have the north and south nodes in Aries and Libra respectively. So all that is in play, and what that was saying was an opposition or a push pull between independence and partnerships, or independence at the risk of losing partnerships, or codependency at the risk of having independence, and so on and so forth. And again, I have videos dedicated to these super full moons, as well as you can, there's videos for the month, so you can go back and listen to those if you're interested. The final super full moon was the Taurus super full moon on November 15th or thereabouts. It was called the Super Beaver Moon. And Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus was in Capricorn, I believe, at that time. Uranus was also in Taurus, and Taurus. Um, so there was a tight conjunction with Taurus and Uranus in the moon, which opposed the Scorpio sun. So that was pretty powerful too. But I will say the most powerful of the four super full moons um, was the October 17th doozy of a full moon in Aries, which opposed the Sun in Libra and squared Mars in Cancer and Pluto. Not to mention, there was a Mars Pluto opposition. I think a few days earlier, or maybe in November. Well, it was an applying opposition. Um, in any case, the super full moon in Aries, in opposition to the Libra Sun, um, there was an ending in your Aries-dominated house, um, wanting some sort of independence at the expense of your Libra-dominated house. So a relationship was severed, or was the cause of the ending, or um, there was, or Libra was stifled in being its true self in a relationship, so that it would not rock the boat, as Aries demanded independence. Okay. Now, the last thing I have to mention for your own good, or for your information, sorry, some people get mad when I say for your own good. So, as an FYI, or to be aware of, as I mentioned earlier, Mars will retrograde from Leo all the way back up into Cancer, where it opposed Pluto in Capricorn in November. Of course, this time Pluto will be in Aquarius, opposing Cancer. It'll happen next year. Um, but the theme of the original opposition will be in play, okay? The overarching theme. Uh, but since it'll be in Pluto will be in Aquarius, there'll be some kind of a twist. And Cancer rules the home and family. So again, the theme of tradition, home and family will be in play in another opposition then. And that is why I mentioned in your October full moon in Aries ending that ending will be revived in spring of 2025 somehow. And 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 I also mentioned trying not to have a I'm doing air quotes volatile ending, or rise up to the heat, because Mars is the god of war and action. Because it will carry over to this new beginning, this revival in spring of 2025. Nonetheless, whatever happened, at least you are now aware of any issues or conflicts that may come up with this revival. And calm, formidable, and being disciplined will really help you with this. So try to remember that. Now, um, with this intro about this lingering um, Pluto and Capricorn 29th degrees and these super full moons. And I'm not saying that there isn't something new happening for all of us and around us. There is. But like I mentioned, there is a lingering opposition, an issue which has crescendoed and which might feel almost irreconcilable, or even daunting for some. For others, it might be just like a thorn in their side. So, yes, unfortunately, there still is some work to be done here, and God or the universe, in its wisdom, know this, and the planetary alignments and aspects until about next spring or mid 2025 will be helping us with letting go where we need to, and or coming to a compromise, agreement, or even reversal that needs to happen. And more immediately, the universe is sending in Ceres, uh, Pluto's most important equal, um, and who forced Pluto to compromise over Persephone. I believe Pluto's story is in October Scope. I'm not sure, but I'll put a link if you want to hear the story of Pluto and Persephone and Ceres. Ceres brought Pluto to his knees. Um, so so this first week of December, Ceres is doing just that. um, 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 has taken over from Pluto, because Pluto left Capricorn. Ceres took over from Pluto in Capricorn and is transversing that critical 29th degree. Okay. She is cleaning up after the hurricane, but cleaning up whether you like it or not, um, cleaning up in the sense of a compromise, and an equitable compromise where both parties um, gain and and lose. So you sacrifice to gain a compromise. And then Ceres will be moving to 0 degrees in Aquarius at the end of this first week of December, but more on that later. So Ceres is one of the 3 immediate planetary components of December that will help you with this outer transformation and reconstructing those broken pieces that we're all picking up now. It will help you with your newfound phoenix wings that Pluto gave to us. Remember, Pluto is about transformation. It's about the phoenix rising from the ashes, about rebirth. Like I said, she is the first of 3 other things that are going on in December. And December will have 3 themes, um, and I will go into each scope right at the beginning. I will tell you what those 3 themes are for December. And I think this is a good segue to go. Okay, so this is December 2024's planetary lineup, and I did list almost all of the planetary aspects just as a Christmas present for everyone. Of course, I will not go over each and every single aspect that you see here. I will only um, mention the significant ones that will resonate more. But I went ahead and did everything for December just as a Christmas present. So go ahead and take a screenshot, and you can stop the video and take a screenshot if you want. So we have the 1st through the 5th, and then the 6th through the 9th, and 9th through the 15th, 17th through the 21st. 21st is the winter solstice. The 22nd through Merry Christmas, the 25th, and the 26th through the 31st. Okay, so those are the planetary lineups. You can stop the video and take the different screenshots and match it to your natal chart and follow along. So now, hi Pisces. Um, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize your an Aquarius video failed to upload, and when I went to see what happened, I just couldn't open up the files. It's weird. So I had to rewrite everything and record it all over. Thus the delay. I apologize. Okay, so let's get straight into this because there's a lot of information here. So December has 3 themes, all distinctly different yet overlapping. The first one has to do with the way you appear physically, or your style and your profile, also your profile online. The second theme is your hidden world and your psyche, inclusive of your past. The third theme is one last hurrah, one last push, and some sort of reconciliation regarding a friend, friends, or the group. Let us start with a more immediate focus this week in how you appear both physically and online. So some are saying, yeah, it is the same old with that for Pisces, and it is all Neptune's fault for making you confused or others being confused, and not to worry because it'll be over soon. Okay, what do you do from now until it is over soon? Well, let's start over and see what's going on. You are the sign of the 2 fishes, a very compassionate and creative person Many artists have prominent Pisces factors in their birth charts. However, you are no wallflower by any means. Yes, you are able to even understand why your enemies or frenemies are the way they are, and you can forgive, but it doesn't mean that you are easy pickings either. No. And since Neptune has been in your sign, contrary to what many are saying, you have been confused or confusing. Actually, you have been highly intuitive and keenly aware, not only of what or who is around you, but also of what is yet to come. Um, you can almost be psychic, and you have been. I don't know, but I don't call that confusing. Maybe what they consider confusing is this new you, not only on the inside, but also now very clearly visible on the outside, that has taken maybe your family, friends, and others by surprise. Many of you have had or made subtle changes to your wardrobe, your hair, while other Pisceans have lost a lot of weight and gotten into shape with a new hairstyle or a new wardrobe and the whole 9 yards. And yes, you seem very different. And there's the new Pisces moms that are glowing, etc., etc., and etc. Okay. The only one thing is just the sign of the fishes is the two fishes swimming opposite each other, and you do that in a way. Mostly is you disappear, and you disappear to refuel. Okay, get your battery juices, because you expend so much emotion being compassionate that you feel empty, and you just need to be by yourself, or go to whatever space you need to be at to become whole again. um, and that might be one of the problems that others think, but the people who know you know that that is very normal. The only issue here is you no longer cry victim, and you quietly and confidently walk away smiling sometimes, and that is where again, I hate using the word problem, but for lack of a better word, that is where the problem is, but not for you, but rather for them or they. Uh, I'm doing air quotes because every Pisces is different. I don't know exactly who they are. So, yes, you have been transformed physically, but internally too. The people prodding and poking who have taken liberty are being put on notice by you this week. Saturn, as annoying as he is, has been a big instrumental um, tool in helping you put up boundaries and pulled you back from completely being lost at sea with a transformation. And I've mentioned in my other videos, um, a good chunk of you have gone um, with plastic surgery, maybe the invasive and the non-invasive ways. And Saturn just as a caution helped pull you back from that, helped stop that from going overboard. Okay, and this brings us to the second theme of December, which will be broken down in three parts. The first part has to do with an opposition that started building in late August, September, October, and in November, we saw an exact opposition between Mars in Cancer, your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity, which opposed Pluto in Capricorn, your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. This is also the house of your hopes, wishes, and dreams of the future. Um, that happened in November, just as Pluto was transversing the last critical 29th degree of Capricorn. A big issue with that one particular friend, maybe, or family member, because Cancer natally rules home and family, and your own child, or maybe your partner's child, maybe a niece or a nephew, and or your romantic love interest. Okay, so that those two oppositions collided. The internal dynamics of this person or people also swept you um, up in the middle of things. So if it wasn't directly you or your family or your child, like I said, maybe a niece or nephew, um, and they with somebody else, you got swept up in the middle of it. Okay. So the fallout has occurred where you are once again and for the last time dealing with a power and control issue about this. Okay. It has not been resolved. It has to do with an issue regarding independence and relationships, or independence versus codependency, because we have also the north nodes in Aries and the south node in Libra, and they're opposing each other. Aries stands for independence, Libra is all about relationships. Plus, we had a solar eclipse in Libra in the beginning of October where the Aries moon opposed it. And then we had the crazy, crazy full Aries moon, which was a super moon um, that was quite volatile, and it was also opposed by Libra. So that opposition, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying regarding independence and relationships versus independence and codependency. Whatever it is, both sides are extremely important to you. This power dynamic. If it is not you and the other, and you do want to find a resolution, but how? Since it is at loggerheads, oppositions are not like squares. Oppositions is just it's my way or no way. Both sides do that. Well, this first week, the mother of all compromises, Ceres, and the one who brought Pluto to his knees. Um, and I have the story of Pluto linked in the comments if you're interested in hearing it. She is working to lay out a foundation for a compromise here. The second of the third part will come more debating about a compromise around the winter solstice on December 21st. So this first week, we see this compromise being laid out or being kicked around. And then around the winter solstice, there will be more debate about this compromise. And finally, but tentatively, a new deal is struck towards the end of December with the New Year's new moon in Capricorn. And I will break that down further when I go over your December planetary lineup. So the second theme has these three parts. Okay. Finally, the third theme is what has started with a group or friends or some people back at the end of November. And it could have been earlier than that. But I'm saying November 19th, because Pluto left Capricorn and entered Aquarius. These, well, Aquarius first is your 12th house of, it's your hidden house. It's your house of faith. It's the house about the past. It's where we find confining places. Um, it is about your psyche. And it is a hidden house where things are done behind the scenes. And no astrology really knows what goes on in the 12th house. And that's what Aquarius for you is in your solar chart. Now, I don't know where Aquarius falls for you in your natal chart, but again, you would look at your natal chart and see if you even have Aquarius and where that is, and you'll get a clearer picture about this. Now, regarding these friends or the group that you either met or have been talking to, but were made aware of more keenly around November 19th when Pluto entered Aquarius, represent a new power and control that you desire in regards to overcoming um, the issues you have in your secret house. Maybe the issues with your own past. Maybe there's a crisis in faith. Or maybe you have a secret that you're trying to either control or clear up. Pisces, we are all on a fast track to have our Aquarius related house to be cleaned out, reconstructed, and transformed, and in that order, whether we like it or not. So that the next stage of our lives will have a solid Aquarian foundation to stand on as we climb on to the next level. And you are no different. The universe is sending in unique, quirky, maybe, forward thinking Uranian people who have Plutonian power. Let me just get this call and I will be back. Sorry about that. My the windshield of my car cracked and all the way across. So I'm having someone fix it and they're coming out to do that. But anyway, it's a stop and start with this recording feature, so we should be okay. All right. So where was I? The universe. Um, sending in unique, forward thinking Uranian people who have Plutonian power to challenge you to start decluttering, well, challenge and help you to start decluttering how you handle your hidden world, your faith, and how you maybe have swept the past under the carpet, but it is manifesting in other ways. This is not a one-way street. You too want that all aired out and hung and to be disinfected. The only thing is you will be surprised by the speed it will come at you, as we all uh, have been conditioned with Pluto and Capricorn that slow and steady wins the race. Um, Aquarius does not do slow and steady. It's like, well, the reason Capricorn does that is because they're very formidable um, social climbers. So you see the goat when they're scaling a cliff, no one can really knock them off. And the same with Capricorn. And Capricorn rules tradition and the family and government and military and things like that. So it's very grounded. Yeah, it's an earth sign. But Aquarius is different. Aquarius is an air sign. Um, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and it is the planet of shock, surprise, and electricity, thunderstorms, hurricanes, and all that good stuff. So Pluto in Aquarius does not do slow and steady. It simply does not have the time for that because for Aquarius, the clock is ticking. um, and where Capricorn is slow because it accounts for mistakes. So it's slow so that it won't fall off, balance. Aquarius also, because Aquarius is called the genius of the zodiac. They're very, very forward thinking. They go out in front of everybody, test things, and then they bring it back to all of us peons. um, so Aquarius has accounted for mistake already. All right, and that's why when in Aquarius's world, it's like, okay, you want it, here it is. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Where you're saying, well, wait, wait, wait. What about this? What about? They don't even have time to say what about. Let's go. And that's what I explained in your November horoscope regarding Pluto in Aquarius. If you're new here, you can pull that up off of my channel and hear it for your sign. I have yet to make a Pluto in Aquarius dedicated video, uh, only because it's a 20 years journey, so we have the time, but also because of this last Capricorn opposition and people feeling like, I didn't want anybody feeling like they're left behind. I wanted to clear that up before I do that. But this month, I promise I'm going to do a Pluto and Aquarius dedicated video because then the new year starts a lot of new other things. In any case, getting back to what I told you in November regarding Pluto and Aquarius, whatever you thought that was, whatever you desired that was unreachable, you thought it was unreachable for you regarding your 12th house, you will be surprised at the speed of um, of how fast it'll come for you and how easy it will be for you to start playing with it, gain it. And that's how Aquarius works. Of course, there's always a shadow side. And that's why I also said be careful of what you wish for. You may get it and you may get it fast and it'll be dizzying. Um, but with that knowledge, let's move forward. Okay, so um, this the second week of December, specifically starting around the 7th of December, you will be made aware of where you stand with this group, with these genius people with Plutonian power, in regards to the power structure that you need to clear out your 12th house. You will realize whether you are within the group or on the outside, yet still taking advantage of this power. I will discuss it further when I go over the December planetary alignment. But I think I've exhausted enough on this here, and I'll leave it for the Pluto and Aquarius dedicated video. Just suffice it to say that on the 7th, we have many planets conjunct Aquarius, and that is when you will be made aware. All right, that wraps up the summary, and we will move on to the monthly lineup. so that I can explain some things. Before we do that, I encourage you to listen to the intro, as I have much more detailed information and backstory to the summary I just presented to you. So, in the event you are not clear, the intro will help. Even if you are clear, it really helps give you a better perspective. I also give you guys some tips on using astrology tools to help you understand better how to interpret this, whatever it is that is going on. All right, onward to the lineup. Okay, so also in the intro, I have put up a December 2024 planetary lineup with all the planets and the aspects and the degrees. And I did actually all of them, which I will not be discussing all of them. There are a lot. I'm only going to be discussing the main important ones for you right now. But the rest are just for, I did it as an extra Christmas present for you guys, and you can speculate on your own by matching it to your birth chart, the degrees, I mean. All right, so the second, we have seen a new moon in Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures fall on here. And status is single, not single, married, not married, things like that. Now, this new moon was something of a very optimistic, even maybe fervent idea. A hopeful new opportunity that has fallen in your lap regarding your status and your career. But Sagittarius, two things. One, Sagittarius does not do details. It's very like, oh, this is a great idea. You guys figure out how to make it happen. I'm just going to come up with the ideas. And the second thing is we have Mercury in Sagittarius since November, and it's retrograde now and will not really clear its shadow until January 4th. So you do realize when you are presented with this new opportunity or new idea that it seems unrealistic in some part. Not that the idea is unrealistic, but maybe the timing of it or what have you. All right, you are not one of the three signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So look to zero in your chart to see how you may be affected by this new moon, as well as if you have Sagittarius in your chart, see where it falls to get a clearer picture. All right, on the 4th, the sun in Sagittarius will square Saturn in your sign. Okay, so today is facing the music, and it is good, and you're almost on your own with facing this music, facing this thing, which is actually good, and you can handle that. Like I said, you tend to despair to figure things out. So being on your own, you can see things clearly from your own perspective, and you can initiate what you want for yourself. And this has to do with, again, in regards to your solar chart. The sun is a very, very powerful planet. So it is illuminating. Um, it is you are reviewing. You are being shown how your status, your career, and how authority figures view your reputation. And it is squaring. So there is a friction. There is a problem with the way that you are putting these boundaries up regarding your profile, which is Saturn, because it's squaring Saturn. But nonetheless, I would stick to the boundaries with Saturn. But you'll know what I'm talking about in your own personal lives. All right, Pisces, you are one of the three signs that will be impacted directly by this, regardless of the degrees. But the degrees are 13 degrees. All right. The next important thing that I want to discuss is we skip to the 6th of December. Mars in Leo will station retrograde at 6 degrees. And Leo is your 6th house of health, habits, routine, scheduling, small pets, maybe caring for another person is also linked up in here. And it is the house of busyness and gossip. So, ever since Mars entered Leo, you have been very assertive regarding your health habit, your routine, your scheduling. Okay, um, you've sort of laid down the law here. Now, with Mars going retrograde, it's going to be reviewing what you've done in fervor, and it will review it. But the only thing I want to explain here is that when Mars does go retrograde, if you apply the same assertiveness as you have been, that energy is doubled back at you. It comes back at you twofold. So this is not the time to assert yourself here in this area. This is the time to review. So discipline is key here, and you can, if there is a conflict, you can work it out within yourself and play your own devil's advocate, because you will eventually get what you want when Mars goes direct in Leo. You will get the schedule and or the health routine that you want when it goes direct, but you want to be on a powerful footing when you do. So this is the time to review. And also, if you're new here, I always mention it is pay attention to the day before and after, when a planet stations to go retrograde or forward. It lifts the veil for you to get a sneak peek of what the problem is or how the outcome will be. Okay, the vibrations are powerful with these planets, and when it's stationing like that, um, it goofs up and it shows us and lifts the veil. But in any case, that's what I always say with stationing planets. All right. Then the next day, the 7th, and here it is, what I spoke to you in your personal scope. Ceres, Venus, and Pluto will all conjunct in Aquarius at 0 degrees. All right. We also have a new moon in your sign at 0 degrees. And we also have a Neptune in your sign stationing to go direct at 27 degrees. And then we have the Sun in Sagittarius, which will oppose Jupiter in Gemini at 16 degrees. A lot happening this weekend in December. First of all, the friendships, associations, or group that appeared, like I said, around November 19th, will be about the power and control that you have or you don't. And it will actually be revealed, like I explained to you in your scope. So I will mostly concentrate here on Venus conjoining Pluto in Aquarius. Venus's role is to attract people, romance, riches, fortune, and fame for us. All right. Pluto is the god of the underworld. He is very powerful. Um, he also rules over riches, like gold and emeralds and things like that, uh, or oil. So Venus is attracting powerful Aquarian people, or who appear Aquarian, who appear geniuses or quirky, that have Plutonian power, who will deliver and I'm doing in air quotes, the riches and power regarding your Aquarian related house. Okay. And that is your 12th house of faith and secrets. Now, concentrating on the people here, because of Aquarius, because it is Aquarian. Um, yes, Aquarius is all about humanity and the good of all. It doesn't do individualism um, and property rights. It is about um, sacrificing for everyone. However, um, Aquarius, if you are ever get to meet them, yes, they do seem to corral the group, or to be like, within people all the time. But they are actually loners. They actually stand alone within a group, and they need to be that way because in order to control such a diverse uh, people, they need to be emotionally detached. Okay, I mean, try to get two people to decide on a restaurant, let alone a group of people, right? So, and the shadow side of Aquarius is, again, regarding groups or associations, they have a hierarchy. There's classes, there's sectarianism. Uh, so, so what this is, what Pluto and Venus conjunct here for you is that you may not be part of this class, part of this sectarianism. Remember when I told you what you thought was unreachable um, will be reachable? Is because Venus and Pluto here will open up the doors for you. Will make you be able to permeate these stratas, to rub shoulders and rub elbows with these quirky people. Uh, so Venus is attracting these powerful Plutonian actors. Yeah. Um, just the only thing here is just be able to recognize that it's going to come at a price. Remember what I said: is be careful what you wish for. I think you're getting the picture, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. And besides, you're a Pisces. Neptune is in your sign. You are highly intuitive, and you can discern. And the only thing is just a disclosure that um, try not to rush into things. Try to take measured steps. Even though Aquarius can be, it'll be say, damned with the measured steps. Let's go. And so maybe think about smaller risks if you can. If you're feeling, uh, pretty pretty courageous, then go for it. Just don't come complaining to me. Don't come crying to me. Oh my! I'm sorry. I'm laughing with you. I'm laughing with you. In any case, let's wrap it up with saying that you are not one of the four signs that will be impacted regardless of the degrees. So do look for 0 degrees in your natal chart, and especially if you have Aquarius, where that falls in what house, um, and that will give you a clearer picture of how you will be impacted. Now, uh, Neptune coming out of retrograde, stationing direct. Okay, the blah 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 on the stationing planet. So pay attention to the date. You get to see behind the veil, and what this is about is because Neptune's visit in your sign is going to be ending pretty soon. So the last 4 or 5 months, especially, have been quite a struggle, like an uphill battle with the way you appear, which we've discussed at length in the beginning. But here, when Neptune is waking up and turning forward, you will see that your hard work has actually yielded not an illusion but reality for you. And we do want to uh, uh, pr- give thanks to Saturn, Saturn here, because while Neptune was allowing you to review things, Saturn was making sure that you didn't go overboard. And then last thing is, and you are actually one of the 3 signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degree when Neptune comes out of its slumber. Now, the last thing is the Sagittarius Sun opposing Jupiter um, in its opposite sign of Gemini. Again, Sagittarius is your 10th house, I believe. Yes, 10th house of career and status. And Gemini is your 4th house of home and family. And I just went back up and down and I lost. No, I did not lose my space. Okay, so this is an opposition. And oppositions, more or less, are two people or two parties or two things that are at loggerheads, and each one is their own way. They will not change. So, in that sense, um, something will be final or an ending to both houses here. But I've also mentioned that there are some oppositions that are actually really good. And this is one of them because it's Sagittarius, and also because Jupiter is Sagittarius ruling planet. Um, so this can actually um, result in money, in riches, or in fame, or in some kind of really good luck with this opposition. Yeah. The only thing again is Jupiter is retrograde, and and Mercury, the way we think and contracts and agreements, is retrograde. Um, but this will be a good opposition. The only thing I want to say is because Jupiter is retrograde, whatever you get here as far as luck is concerned, or what have you, do not push your luck. And as in the scenario where you'll be like, oh, that's so nice, but it would have been nicer if it was this. Don't do that, because Jupiter is slumbering. He's retrograde. If he gets mad enough, he'll take everything. So just be careful of that. And you are one of the signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So I'm rooting for you. Okay, the next thing is on the 8th. We have a first quarter moon in your sign. So the vibration of the new moon is still, in effect. Oh, which I did say the new moon, I think it was on the 6th, but it was forming before even that. So in any case, this first quarter moon um, is showing you that there's 3/4 of the way more to go for you to finish with this transformation. Uh, because, like I said, that new moon is the beginning of the end. When it becomes full next year, Neptune and Saturn will both leave your sign, and your transformation physically will have been completed. You are one of the three signs that will be directly impacted, regardless of the degrees. All right, we skip to the 12th. Venus in Aquarius will oppose Mars in Leo, and that is at 5 degrees. This is Venus and Mars, boys and girls. This is romantic problems. This is romantic fights. This is relationship uh, war of the roses. So it can manifest either like let's break up to make up, kind of deal, like the offensive charm. Do they say offensive charm or charm offensive? Sorry. Or it can be serious fights between romantic problems between romantic couples. But again, it's Venus and Mars. They just cannot get enough of each other, no matter how much they oppose. But the main thing to take away from here is roles are reversed. You get to feel what the other person has been going through. You get to walk in their shoes, is what I'm trying to say. All right, you are not one of the signs that will be directly impacted, so check for 5 degrees and where Aquarius and Leo fall in your sign. On the 13th, the moon in Gemini will oppose Mercury in Sagittarius at 6 degrees. Okay, so Mercury and Sagittarius and the moon in Sagittarius and Gemini and Mercury are all about party. Woohoo! Let's go let's go where the action is. So it's about networking, socializing, get-togethers, and what have you. So expect to either be in a get together on the 13th or to get an invitation. But this is important because you will have discussions with a unique firebrand person, a forward thinking person that will be very effective and important to you in the near future, which will be January and February. So pay attention to who you guys meet around this time, or who you or what the conversation is about, because it might be, oh, I've got, a friend of a friend that can help you. All right, I got to get this call. I'll be back. And we continue with the Mercury retrograde for my fate. They got the wrong glass, so it's rescheduled again. Oh, well. All right. So, where was I? On the 12th, I explained that. Well, let me save this recording and listen to where I've left off because I can't remember now. Okay. So yeah, I know where I left off. So it was the 15th, and I did wrap that up for you. Um, and I've already discussed Mercury in Sagittarius stationing direct. Um, just pay attention because there will be a veil that will be lifted, and you'll know what this mumbo jumbo that has been about regarding your status and your career, the discussion about it since November. And um, even though it is going direct right now on the 15th, Mercury that is, it will not clear its shadow until January 4th. So the discussions and agreements between the 15th and January 4th are still at the risk of being reversed or canceled. So don't take any stock on what is going to be done because there's still information. Once Mercury clears its shadow, you'll get that information to make a better informed decision. Yeah, um, have Plan B and C still in place. Okay, but you will get more information. You will get an aha moment when it stations direct. And we move on to the 18th. The Sun in Sagittarius will square Neptune in your sign, Pisces. This is 27 degrees. Again, this is about your career and status and the way you appear and your profile. So, and I'm singing this for everyone. This is a classic torn between two lovers. um, no, it's not about your love life. It's just you are torn between the past and the present situation and trying to reconcile the two here regarding your status and career and the way you physically appear. You may feel that all, both are lost, but they're not, and you haven't lost. You just need to have faith in the present and be ready to sacrifice whatever it is in the past that you don't need so you can declutter and take in the present. Um, and uh, this is what I want to say is it'll be easy for you because again, like I said, you are the sign that rules faith, and you are all about faith. And you're a water sign and very intuitive. So this should be a breeze for you, and you will be one of the signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. On the 19th, Venus in Aquarius will trine Jupiter in Gemini at 14 degrees. This is beautiful. Trines are very pleasing aspects, sometimes so that we don't realize that they're happening. And again, Venus attracts money, love, fame, and fortune. And Jupiter is the planet of good luck and expansion. However, Jupiter is retrograde right now, so it's sort of sleeping or muted. But at this time, Venus knows that we need some of Jupiter's luck or expansion here, just a little bit. So Venus is cajoling Jupiter to come on, even though you're retrograde, give up some of that luck for us. And that's what Venus is doing for you regarding the past and your psyche and um, and your Gemini related house. And you will start to feel a little luck here with your Gemini related house. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. And that is your fourth house of home and family. And you will be one of the five signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. And then we skip to the 21st. The sun enters Capricorn at the winter solstice. And the winter solstice represents the shortest day and the longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere. Um, and this is if you remember what I told you regarding the issue with the Pluto um, last critical degrees, the first was in the first week there was a compromise. The second phase is this right here on the 21st through Christmas is there's more debate and knocking around the compromise to get a better fit. Uh, So you are not one of the signs that will be directly impacted regardless of the degree. So look for 0 degrees again in your chart and where Capricorn is in your natal chart if you have it. All right. This one I wasn't going to include, but I am because I feel it is important, even though others are not discussing it. On the 22nd, there is a last quarter moon in Libra. Watch this date and this space. It is a small snippet, um, a commercial of a movie that has been on repeat for the past 2 years and will end by the end of January, regarding your Aries and Libra houses. So some of you may be leaving a partnership, and I explained the significance of this in the intro. So you can listen to the intro for more detail on it. But some of you will be or may be leaving a partnership behind, because Libra and Aries, Libra is all about relationships, and Aries is about independence. But Libra can sometimes be codependent. Again, listen to the intro, because I can't go into detail here. But yeah, some partnerships may be severed. But for those of you who aren't going to be leaving a relationship or severing it or temporarily separating, you will realize that it is not because you can't, but because you choose to stay for a higher purpose, per se. But like I said, by the end of January, this codependency, repetitive issue with opposing independence, um, will feel much, much, much more lighter and airier. And the both of you will be very happy here, because you will have found the right balance between of having a relationship that does respect independence. Okay. And you are not one of the signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. But look for where Libra is in your natal chart. Uh, because the ones that are going to be impacted are cardinal signs: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So it's going to be a powerful, powerful quarter moon on the 22nd. And again, it's going to give you a window in how this will end or solidify by the end of January. And we go to Christmas Eve, December 24th. Jupiter in Gemini will square Saturn in your sign. This is the second and last square to Saturn. The first time it happened, Jupiter was direct and expanding something about your home and family, maybe a renovation, maybe somebody moving in, maybe you had visitors. And Saturn was more in the background because it was retrograde. So it couldn't really set up boundaries here with Jupiter's expansion. This second time, Jupiter is retrograde and Saturn is direct. So this basically means you're cutting away the fat of what Jupiter expanded here. And this is also giving you a snapshot of the future. Even though you may feel that a certain stand you made will make you maybe lose respect if you turn it around, or um, you think that you can't turn it around. Well, Saturn here is wisely maybe whispering or maybe talking loudly, saying that on the contrary, you will gain even more respect here. And you are not one of the signs that will be impacted directly, regardless of the degrees. So look for 14 degrees in your natal chart. Okay, Pisces. And then, oh, this is another one that I wasn't going to talk about, but I think it's important. On the 29th, Chiron, the wounded healer, the maverick, the teacher, um, has been retrograde in Aries, the fire sign. And on the 29th, it was stationed direct at 19 degrees. Um, and this is important because whatever wound or hurt you have been feeling for a while regarding your Aries related house. And what is your Aries related house? Oh, your second house of job and income. Whatever hurt or wound, or maybe you feel you are not being valued, or you have no value, um, because of a wound or hurt. This will start healing right now, starting the 29th and moving forward. It is very beautiful. Chiron is very, very cathartic in its healing powers. So you will start healing regarding your value system, the income you make, and what you do as far as the job is concerned. So this is beautiful. I'm happy for you guys. And then finally, the month ends with the third and final phase of Pluto's mess on the 29th degree, and where we started the compromise in the first week, and then Christmas Eve we debated more about the compromise. Well, here on the 30th, 31st, there is a new, on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, there is a new moon in Capricorn, and this will be a new opportunity, or the seed of something new regarding this compromise that will be seeded here on the 30th, 31st, and that will culminate in a 6 months' time. So it is called the new black moon in Capricorn. Every time I say that, I laugh. Black moon, poor Capricorn. Well, because it's the dead of winter and Capricorn is sort of somber. Um, so, but this is important as well because it will reflect uh, what has crescendoed from the beginning of 2024 to the end, as you look at it in the rearview mirror, as well as it is setting the theme of 2025. Don't worry, we're over with that heaviness with Capricorn. It's this new idea, this new hopefulness that is being seeded for 2025 of moving forward. The transformation will be complete by mid 2025, when this full moon become when this new moon becomes a full moon and we reap its harvest in mid 2025. But it's all good. So that wraps